Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. How's it going? Going well? Good. Today I'm going to be talking about some fragrances I don't really like. These are popular fragrances. Now when I say popular, I'm talking about actual sales, whether in the past or currently. All 5 of these fragrances made their companies a lot of money. And I'm not a big fan. I'll tell you why as we work through these scents. And this isn't a video set up just to crap on these fragrances. I'm going to give them props where they deserve it. They're just not for me. So if they're for you, awesome. Don't let anything that I say dissuade you from wearing it and enjoying it. It's just, I don't dig them. Let's check these out. All right, let's kick it off with Ralph Lauren Polo Blue, the Eau de Toilette, the original. Now this fragrance, I couldn't even tell you how many guys have rocked over the years. You know, it's a great sport scent, gym scent, summer scent for so many guys out there. Came out in 2003, so almost 20 years ago. And I hate the way it smells. Let's get a little reminder here. Oh man, terrible atomizer too. But that's not just this fragrance. A lot of Ralph Lauren fragrances have that turdy atomizer where you give it a spray and it just does like a week. Well, it's really aquatic, it's ozonic, it's fresh. It's got a cucumber note, which is probably the first thing that people think of with this fragrance, cucumber, melon, and basil. But to me, Polo Blue Eau de Toilette has always just smelled inexpensive, cheap, just kind of a throwaway kind of fragrance. When I smell it though, it's almost the epitome of the late 90s, early 2000s, throwaway, aquatic, shower gel, fresh kind of scent. Nothing about it really stands out, grabs my attention. It's got a little bit of a synthetic screechiness to it. Another thing about Polo Blue is I think just about every flanker that came after this in the Polo Blue line was better than the original. Yeah, at least for me. Well, maybe not all of them, but honestly, it could be. Yeah, Polo Blue Eau de Parfum, I would take that over this. Polo Deep Blue, I would take that. Polo Blue Gold Blend, I would definitely take that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Polo Blue Eau de Toilette is my least favorite of the whole line. So there we go, Polo Blue Eau de Toilette. Where are we going next? Let's go Valentino Uomo Born in Roma. Now, I'm trying not to be super biased with this one. And a lot of you out there are biased toward this one, just like me. So you can admit it right away. Just drop it in the comments. I know you are, because there are so many people that loved the original Valentino Uomo, then Uomo Intense, Uomo Aqua, also the limited edition flankers that came out around that time. And then they switched over to this, Born in Roma. They revamped the line. And what did they give us? Fragrance that smells really reminiscent of Invictus. Oh boy. Now, I've spoken a number of times about how Invictus doesn't really do it for me. Some of them are better than others. The original, I don't like a huge amount. Invictus Aqua is okay, and you know, some of the other flankers are all right. It's not a fragrance line that I gravitate toward a huge amount. We can say that pretty safely. And this one essentially is Valentino doing their take on Invictus. That's what this is. Now, Valentino, at least with the Uomo line, has never been hyper unique. A lot of their fragrances do smell similar to other scents out there, but at least with that original batch of Uomo fragrances, the quality was like, it was great for a designer. And this one just, for me, leaves a lot to be desired. If I want to wear Invictus, I'm going to wear Invictus. If I want to wear a cheaper Invictus, I'm going to wear something like Azzaro Wanted. So this, like I said, doesn't do it for me. Now, younger guys looking for something that's versatile, compliment pulling, yeah, this will do that for you, 100%. So it does that super well. That's all you're after. Yeah, check it out. And next, Phantom of the Opera? No, Phantom of the Robot. I bet you've never heard anybody talk about this fragrance and how it's named Phantom, but it's actually a robot bottle with a science fiction backdrop, have you? Very unique. Ooh, yeah. Now, I did a review of this fragrance, and I tried to be as neutral as I could. I don't like Phantom. I don't like how it smells. But if I were younger, maybe I'd go for it. That's what I said in the review. I still stand by that. Who knows what young me would have thought smelling this. Maybe I would have gone, whoa, great. When I smell it now, though, I go, ugh. A creamy lavender overdosed with syrupy, bubblegummy vanilla. It's not great. and it almost feels like the type of scent that is made and marketed toward younger people, that was made by much older people who don't actually maybe fully understand what's cool. It's just the whole package. It looks like a kid's toy. And I mean, some people like that. A lot of people have actually said, I think this bottle is awesome because it's different. It is definitely different, but I also think it looks really cheesy. And then they have that whole connectivity with the bottle where you can put your phone up here and it pulls up the Phantom Universe website that has stuff like a filter where you take a picture and it makes the little robot look like it's next to you. So as I mentioned, if I was younger, maybe I would go for this. I really don't like it though. It's that sweet on top of sweet. I don't really gravitate toward. But in spite of everything I said, in spite of the me thinking it looks a little cheesy and the fragrance and all that stuff, it still seems to be doing pretty well. I mean, when you go to Sephora or Macy's or something like that and you sort by best selling, it's up there. And just to be completely clear here, if you like Phantom, you like how it smells, awesome, wear it. That's great. I would never smell that on somebody else, who's enjoying themselves and they like it and it's making them feel better and say, hey man, you smell like trash. I would just say, hey, you love it? Awesome. All right, I hate to double up on Paco, but I also don't really like 1 Million Parfum. Now the new 1 Million Elixir, that should be coming out sometime this century in the United States. I mean, it was announced months ago. Just today, actually, when I'm filming this, it was put up on Saks Fifth Avenue. You can pre-order it, but it's still not going to come out for another month. So maybe 1 Million Elixir is good, maybe it's bad. I couldn't tell you, but 1 Million Parfum, I'm not a fan of. Now, there are some things that I really applaud Paco Rabanne for here. They went out on a limb. This is different, quite different from the original 1 Million or most of the flankers that came out after the original. You've got solar notes here, you've got white florals, you have this sunscreen kind of vibe to the fragrance. It's actually a scent that starts to lean a little bit unisex at times. And it still is sweet, so it has that in common with the original, but instead of all those spices, instead here you have those notes that I just mentioned before. Now I will tell you, my wife and pretty much all of her friends, they really like this. They love the way this fragrance smells. So obviously I'm kind of the odd one out here. Just when I smell it, it's not really what I want to smell like. It's not what makes me happy to wear. So that's why I don't like it. But I really do appreciate that Paco Rabanne did something different, even though it doesn't really, to me, smell like a 1 Million fragrance. I don't know how it, fits in line with all of the others, but that happens. From time to time, you get flankers that come out and they don't really have anything to do with the original. They're just kind of their own thing, and that's what's going on here. I guess it also throws me for a loop a little bit that it's 1 Million Parfum instead of like 1 Million Solar or some stupid stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not coming up with a good name here, but 1 Million Parfum, you would think, oh, it's going to be 1 million, but even deeper and richer and more magnificent and opulent. Instead, it's a sunscreen, white floral, fresh, sweet. But as I said, women love it. So if that's all you're after, check it out. All right, last one. This is a classic, a modern classic. So many people, kind of like Polo Blue, love this fragrance, have worn it to death. It's Light Blue Pour Homme from Dolce & Gabbana, the original. Now, to be totally straightforward here, I don't hate the way this fragrance smells. It's still pleasant. Throws me back to a different time. Like when I smell it, definitely a fragrance of its era. I say that like it's really old, but it's not. It's like 15 years old, but still, in fragrance years, it's pretty long. I mean, you can find videos on YouTube of people reviewing new fragrances from 2013, 2014. And if you just got into fragrances here over the past couple of years, you may see those fragrances and think, I've never heard of that. And it came out, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Do you know why? Because it got discontinued like 2 years after it came out. That happens all the time with fragrances. So 15 years and to have it still on the market is kind of a long time. So this one has citrus, it's got aromatics, a little bit of woodiness, oak moss, musk. Very clean, aquatic, a little bit salty. The reason light blue is here is, for me, it was never a fragrance I fell in love with. I always respected it because so many people loved it, and you got to respect that. When something comes out and just hits the nail on the head for so many people, even if you don't love it, you should respect it. You should be like, man, they did something right there, obviously. But I never fell head over heels in love with it. Had it, always had it, because it was one of those big releases. But the flankers, there are a lot of them. Some of them I feel like do this, but better. So Oh Intense, most specifically, I feel like is light blue taken up a notch, you know, taken up to the next level. So I'll always pick that one over this one. That's just kind of how it is. I've got them both, and I'm never going to reach for this ever, because I'm going to go for Oh Intense. And then Light Blue Forever, I'm completely in love with. A much different fragrance, but as far as the hierarchy of light blue goes, I'm just never going to wear it. It's like a really long, drawn-out way of me just saying that. And this did spawn, as I mentioned, a lot of flankers, and some of those are really forgettable. I'm not going to dive into all of them because there's a bunch, but a lot of those flankers they just are. So light blue, out of everything here though, this one is the one that I would probably keep. If you said I can only keep one fragrance from these, it'd probably be this one. All right, my friends, that's going to do it. Thank you for hanging with me. Thanks for your support. Let me know in the comments some of the fragrances that are super popular, whether now or in the past, that just don't do it for you for one reason or another. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.